You know, over the years, I've kind of gotten used to these boxes that you get from different NAS companies that have very slow, underpowered CPUs, and they're good for just storing some files. But if you ever want to do like a bunch of stuff with it, like run virtual machines and do anything, well, you're going to have to go out and get something that's like enterprise grade and put it in a rack mount, or get something that's like really, really big and ridiculous. Well, UGREEN has kind of like been just jumping in here and changing everything. Over the last few years since UGREEN showed up, they've kind of taken over. Full disclosure, I've been doing some consulting for them because there were a few things in the App Store I really wanted to see, so I bothered them a lot. And also, I like the direction that they were going in as opposed to, the direction that things were going in before them. They show up with these machines that have all the specs, and now they have released a machine with all the specs and all the power. This is the most powerful consumer grade NAS I've ever seen. This is the UGREEN NAS iDX6011 Pro. They call it the UGREEN AI NAS, and that's some of that stuff on the packaging. And that's because it's so powerful, you can run local large language models right here on the NAS without having to connect to the internet. It's all local on your machine. You control it. So in my opinion, now's the time to stop putting your sensitive data on somebody else's computer and start putting it on your own computer. This one, you can set it up so that it does not even have access to the internet if you wanted to, and you can still run large language models without any access to the internet if that's what you want to do. Now, if you're someone like me and you don't really care about all the AI stuff, you just want to use it as a powerful NAS, you can run all kinds of virtual machines. You can navigate through all of your media, your movies, your music. You can do it all at the same time, have multiple streams coming out of this thing because it is powerful. So we're talking 64 gigabytes of LPDDR5X memory. DDR5 again is very secure. And then it's 8,400 as far as the mega transfer. So that's some very fast speed. Above and beyond that, this one has the Intel Core Ultra 7 255H. And that also can do 96 TOPS of AI power. This Core Ultra 7 255H, it's 16 cores, 16 threads. So it's also 5.1 gigahertz. And a lot of the NAS units I'm talking about in the past that I've used, they would turbo up to 2 or 3 gigahertz, but 5.1, 96 TOPS performance, and TDP is 28 watts. So while that's more than like some of these ARM-based NASs that do like 7 or 8 watts, this is still only going to cost pennies per month to run because 28 watts. There is an early bird special going on right now. So if you want to grab one of these and save up to $1,040, head down to the description. I've got a link down there. You can pre-order this right now and check out these early bird specials. So for the big model I'm looking at right now, the iDX6011 Pro, you can get that for $1,559, saving $1,040. You can barely even get 64 gigabytes of RAM for that price. So I think that's a really good deal. The MSRP, you can see it's quite a bit under that. And then we also have our other models, the iDX6011. That's a 64 gigabyte and the 32 gigabyte version. For a lot of people, these are going to be great units that can really get the job done for most use cases, but this is just absurd. So all the links are going to be down in the description. Grab that early bird special right now. All right, let's talk about the rest of the specs on this one. So you can clearly see that we have 6 drive bays right here. I'm going to be putting 6 of the Seagate Iron Wolf drives in there. I love these things, and they're nice and thin. They're the 4 terabyte drives. Just make sure you get that or the Western Digital Reds or some NAS grade drives that can handle constant writing and reading and everything. We also have 2 M.2 ports on the inside, and we have an expansion port for PCI Express. The PCI Express on the inside is PCI Express Gen 4 by 8. All right, so as far as the ports go, we've got SD card slot, it's 4.0. Then we have Thunderbolt 4, which is 40 gigabits per second, because Intel, we get a Thunderbolt, which is nice, and Oculink, we got all that stuff. We've got USB 3.2, 10 gigabits per second. We got a couple of those. So we also have a couple of USB 2.0 ports. On the back, we've got 2 10 gigabit Ethernet ports. They're also backwards compatible with 5, 2.5, and gigabit. You got HDMI that will do 8K, and then of course your Oculink port that I've mentioned. In order to get this set of features with a lot of the other brands, you'd have to buy the base unit and buy a very expensive add-on card just for like 10 gigabit Ethernet. And that's one of the reasons why I use UGREEN, because it just comes with all the stuff you need. All right, so as far as your overall storage goes, well, you can have up to 196 terabytes in this, depending on how what size drives you get and what do you put in there. Another cool thing with this is we have a little LCD touchscreen on the front that has some functionality, lets us see real-time I guess CPU, GPU, MPU, and RAM stuff. You can also see your network at a glance, which is handy if you're like trying to log in from somewhere else and you want to get the IP address. You could just come over and tap the LCD screen, and you can even like change the style on the LCD screen, put a different background on there if you want to. So that's pretty cool. All right, so I'll give you the quick breakdown of how to put this together, but I've already gone over a few UGREEN models. One other thing I want to say that's nice about UGREEN is they let you install anything you want. It comes with UGREEN OS, and that's getting more and more mature every day. And I feel like that's what most people should do, but that's also installed separately. So it's on there. If you wanted to install something else, some other operating system, it's a computer. You can install whatever you like, a version of Linux. You can install a version of BSD, whatever. You could try different things on this if you wanted to, and you can even do so on a separate drive like an M.2 that you put in there. Putting these drives in the sled is so easy. You just take out the sled. There's a little button on the back of the sled that says push. You push that, you pull it open, you set your drive in there, it'll go in, the grooves will fit into the screw holes, and then you close it. I like to hold it and make sure it's in there. You slide it back in. It's toolless. It's easy, very easy. Now, when it comes to getting connected to your NAS, the easiest way to do that is just to come over to the screen, and with your phone, just take out your phone. You can scan the QR code and it will install the UGREEN software right here on your phone. So I've got the UGREEN software installed. I actually like to go through this on the computer, but it's so easy to just go through and set it all up, and it'll ask you what kind of RAID you want to do. I'll go ahead and go through the installation. We'll do that quickly. And these are just the first steps you should take. Just click down here and get started. Create your storage volume right there. You got all your hard drives installed. You're going to create a pool and then a volume and then some shares. And the RAID version, let's talk about that for a minute. If you want like the maximum amount of security, I usually like to do RAID 6. RAID 6 will allow 2 hard drives to fail. RAID 5, it allows 1 hard drive to fail, and that's fine. You'll have more available storage, but I like a little bit more data protection, and I'm willing to sacrifice 2 disks worth of storage. So you can see up there I'll have 14 terabytes, whereas this one I'll have 18 terabytes. I'm going to do 14 terabytes with my drives and have that extra backup. That way, 2 of them go bad, that's fine. As long as the 3rd drive doesn't go bad, then I'm good. This is more secure. This is probably okay though, but let's just do RAID 6. So our 2 different file systems, ext4, that's just like the generic, basic, newest, latest, cool Linux file system. BTRFS, now that supports snapshotting, which allows you to essentially go back in time and set up snapshots and whatnot. So I'm going to use that one. There we go. So next up, you're going to need to create the first folder and upload your files. All right, so different types of folders. We want a shared folder because that's how we can access, these folders from the outside world. There we go. If you want to enable your personal folders for everybody, you can do that. That'll give each user their own personal folder. All right. So I'm going to come up here and go to my just plus right here. Doesn't matter what we do it. Personal folder, share folder. I'm going to start in the shared folder, push plus, and then I'm going to create a shared folder tech, because I'm going to put tech videos right there. Create. I'll be having all the access right here. And then I'll make another one here. Why not? How about one for media? Media? Yes, I needia the media. Okay, cool. And we're all good. You can enable recycle bin if you like. Confirm. So now we got a couple shares where we can start putting some files and folders and whatnot. I'm mostly against AI from, like a slopification of the internet standpoint. I don't like AI generated artwork at all. I don't like a lot of AI generated code either. I think a lot of it's kind of useless. My rule is I don't use AI for any thinking. All the thinking happens here, and that's just the end of it. Got voice memos on right here, and you can record voice memos. So I've got a couple different voice memos that I've recorded.
I have to take my camel to the vet. I have to water my cactus.
So it'll give me a transcript right here. So it just, everything I said right there, it breaks it down. So now I have a transcript of it. It can generate notes and all that kind of stuff. It can give you summaries. Summaries you need for like a longer thing, like if you record a lecture or something. They have their brand new AI app right here called Julia. And Julia, the interface is going to be instantly familiar if you're someone who's used the online stuff before. But here's the thing. Online, you can turn it on and off. So I'm going to leave it off right now, and we can just ask it something. Let's see here. Let's see how much stuff it knows, because it has to be fed a lot of stuff. Oh God! All right, yeah. Oh, there we go. The character was voiced. Look at that. It's being pedantic with me. But hey, it got it right. So all this stuff is just installed here on Qwen 3. So that's easy. Now we have other stuff, right? If you want to try GPT 4.1 mini, we can do that. And you see there, GPT mini is a cloud-based thing. So I'm not gonna do that one. Quinn 3, more models right here. You can come in and they've added some more stuff. I've already upgraded some of these models. There's a speech recognition model. And then you have your cloud models if you want to put in your API. And you don't have to use OpenAI, it could be DeepSeek, whatever. You can put in your API and use it here. And then we can allow it to enable smart commands with our different apps that are on our NAS. And that'll give you the ability to, once it gets all synced up and everything, to just come over here and have it help you and control things on your NAS. Also documents. You can upload documents right here. So I uploaded a document that I wrote in Microsoft Word about how Windows can beat Linux. And it was a video outline that I did right here. And it basically will go through and summarize the document for you. Now this is not something I like to do. I actually like to read the documents myself. And if someone sends me an AI summary of something, I usually just delete it. But if this is how, you like to read things, then by all means, this can be useful for things like this, pulling outlines and extrapolating some key points and data. I'm over here just talking to it about like Warren Spector and talking about Looking Glass, and it's getting a lot of the things right. It's kind of pedantic though, this Quinn 3, huh? Every now and then. Anyway, so it works locally, and you saw the speed that it was doing things. It'll run a little bit faster on that M.2, but I think that's fast enough for me, especially since I'm not someone who uses it too heavily all the time. Theater is a great app. It's very similar to MB or Jellyfin. And, every time they make an update, I'm like, do I really need Jellyfin? So I think a lot of people are going to be able to look at this. Jesus. This is so good. I think a lot of people can get by with this and not even need Jellyfin. So I'll just show you what I've done right now. I've thrown some of my different movies and stuff onto the hard drive. And I just clicked on the options up there, and I'm going to click on library. I'm going to add a new library right here. Show you how quick and easy this is. Just regular old shows. And I've got my movie database API key put in there. It was quick and easy. So I'm going to come down to my shared folder where I've put these things. I put them into media, and then I put them into shows. Confirm. Good, automatically. Yep, everything's good. Apply. And then if we come over to our home, just wait a second. It's already pulling so it pulls them immediately. And I can already see my Pirates of Darkwater collection. And soon it'll start going in and, pinging the movie database and getting the actual thumbnails and stuff. Some of them it gets really quickly. I think this feels quicker than my Jellyfin installation. So here, see, it pulls all this information instantly. You can watch it right here. You can watch it externally if you have it hooked up, so that you can open up your UGREEN NAS, software anywhere. You can watch it wherever you like. Just click on play. It opens up the player. Right, there's the player. It opens it up, and we're good to go. This triumph of the nerds, Steve Jobs and Wozniak. So yeah, it's already, that's how quick it was. It already pulled in all of these shows. Probably the best show. The best nonfiction. This is the best show, but this is the best nonfiction show. Anyway, yeah, just open them right up. It's so fast. You click, look how fast this is. Yes, it's so fast. This thing is amazing. It's so freaking fast. All right, close that up. What else do you want to see here? We got our virtual machine manager, and setting one of these up, new VM. Check this out, new VM. You can import your virtual machine or create it manually. ISO, upload an ISO, whatever. I've already got Debian in there, but you could just click on this from your local computer, just grab an ISO, and then let's just say I want to use Debian again. Hit next. Pick your volume where you want it to go. If you have another volume on the M.2, you can put it there. Tell it what your system type is. This is so easy. You don't even need advanced for a lot of these, things. We got VirtIO. You can do SATA, SCSI, whatever. VirtIO is what you want for Linux, though. It already has. This before was kind of a pain, but no, the VNets and all that stuff, the VirtIO, the Internet Bridge is already set up, and it just works. It just works. I want to give this a name up here, whatever, Debian's things. Anyway, I've been using that right now to work on something. So with that software, I actually installed a little lamp stack, actually a limp stack. And then I came in here, and right now we're testing this out. just getting a little gaming forum up and running because I believe that forums need to come back. And I've decided, you know what, we're going to do a gaming forum. We're going to have game nights and stuff. So I'm building this right now using a virtual machine right here on the NAS. So yeah, if you want to check out forum.easymode.im, it's live. You can help me break things if you want to. Probably shouldn't have told the internet that yet, but whatever. I still gonna need to set up some other things. There's your voice memos. Now we've also got docs, online documents. Here's that one I was telling you about. Look at this. How familiar is this? It's such a streamlined, and look, there's no Copilot up here. It feels a lot like Office. It works a lot like Office. You can open up EPUBs. That's pretty cool. So yeah, it's extremely functional. If there's any typos in here, ignore them. This is how I type up some of my scripts. I don't usually do scripts, but that one. And then PDFs right here, how quickly this one opens. This is a large PDF, something that Justin was recently involved in. Obojima, Tales from the Tall Grass, just an RPG that I backed on Kickstarter. And like I said, Justin was involved in this, and it's opening up right here on the NAS. And that means that I can share this with other people and whatnot. Got our plugins we can add right here. This is nice. Like every time I revisit the UGREEN OS, I'm like, oh, there's many more cool things. Let's take a look at photos because there's some pretty cool functionality here as well. And I've uploaded a whole bunch of just stuff from Taipei, and probably going to go back in a few days. My visa to China expired, and I really want to go to China, but I can't right now. So I've got to go to Taipei again, and just because I want the food and I have medical reasons. But yes, so I've got all these things on here, but there's also a bunch of different things that you can do over here with the AI. You can do people recognition. And again, this is all local. It's not phoning the internet. It's not doing anything. It's not, melting any reservoirs or anything. It's machine learning that's running locally on your device to do things that are useful specifically for you, like recognize pets and recognize duplicate photos and recognize objects and things. I'm going to search for, how about food? And just see what comes up. And this is nothing that I've done. It's just using image recognition. And it's like, these are food pictures. By the way, this was delicious. That's tapioca and peanut brittle. And on the bottom, it's tofu and a piece of ice. It's unbelievable. Like, it's so soft and airy and good. Anyway, yeah, I found my food photos, and you can do this for other things as well. Now, if you have your UGREEN link set up and you want to share this, just grab a photo that you want to share, click on the ... click on share. And then when you click on share, it'll give you a link that you can send to someone, and they'll be able to look at your NAS securely right over the internet. This guy was so cool. Anyway, when it comes to sync and backup over here, let's see what's been added recently. So we can sync from UGREEN to another NAS. We can sync to this computer as long as you're using the app. If you're using the website, you can't do the sync to the computer, so you got to have the app installed for that. So that's the sync here. Then we can do our backup and restore, backing up to our sync, which is nice, another UGREEN NAS, or between different storage pools like external media and whatnot. So there's that kind of backup and storage. But we also have, where's the other one? Cloud drives. There we go. You can create a cloud drive. We've got Baidu, Microsoft OneDrive, Google Drive, and no Backblaze yet. So I'll bother them about that. Since I'm doing consulting, I'll be like, where's Backblaze? But it's got a lot of the biggest hits, playing all those. So yeah, that's cool. So I'm not actually using this in a production environment yet, and it makes me upset. The reason I'm not using it in a production environment yet is that I don't have any hard drives that are big enough. I've got, UGREEN was nice enough to send over some 4 terabyte hard drives, but I need like 20 terabyte hard drives. So I'm about to bite the bullet and get some 20 terabyte hard drives because it's so much better than the NAS I'm currently using, and it can do so much more. And the fact that it can also do a bunch of VMs. I've got extra computers that are just running VM. I could get rid of those extra computers and put all of the VMs right here on this UGREEN NAS. I could even run my Pi-hole on this UGREEN NAS and just, it's port 53 or whatever it is. So I could basically replace 2 or 3 little computers that are in the side closet. Pi-hole, a little server filled with VMs, and my NAS. But in order to do that, I'm going to have to get, those bigger drives, because we need to transfer over a lot of stuff. There's a lot of these text Syndicate videos you watch. They take up a lot of space, and I don't want to just delete them all. I need to move them over. So got to get the big drives to move them over. So I will be moving to This one or the other one, I'm not sure. Like probably this one because it's the Pro. Yeah, of course this one. I was thinking about the other one for just a minute because it's a little bit lower power, but pennies a month. These are low powered, very fast CPUs. So anyway, let me know what you think of the UGREEN. Let me know what you think of this UGREEN AI NAS, the UGREEN NAS iDX6011 Pro. Do not forget right now, you can save $1,000. I don't even know why I made this whole video because this is ridiculously powerful. I should have just been like, just get it. It's right now, put down the $30. You save $1,040 and you'll have a NAS that can power your whole house for years to come. Yeah, that's the UGREEN NAS iDX6011 Pro. It's beastly. Stay tuned soon. I'm making another video on the non-Pro model. All right, see you in the comments.